Chapter 1. The Night. Everything changed. My name is Alex, and until that night, I thought I understood what love was. I had been with her for almost 4 years. We lived together in a small apartment. We shared dreams, plans, and laughs, and I believed we were building a future that would last forever. I never imagined that one simple moment could break everything. That night, I was cooking dinner while she was taking a shower. Her phone was on the table, and it lit up with a message. I had never checked her phone before, and I wasn't the jealous type. But something inside me told me to look. Maybe it was fear, maybe it was intuition. And when I picked it up, I felt my heart freeze. The message said, "I miss you too. Last night was amazing." I stood there, silent, trying to understand if what I saw was real. I opened the conversation, and with every word I read, the world around me became darker. She had been seeing someone else, not just once, not just by accident. It was real. It was hidden, and it had been happening behind my back while I trusted her with everything I had. She came out of the bathroom smiling, wearing my old t-shirt and asking if I wanted wine with dinner. I looked at her and my voice didn't come out. My hands were shaking and my thoughts were loud, but I stayed quiet. I couldn't speak. I couldn't fight. I just grabbed my backpack, put on my jacket, and walked out the door without saying a word. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't have a plan. I just walked through the cold night streets, step by step, block by block, trying to breathe, trying to think, trying to not fall apart completely. That was the night everything changed. The night I lost the person I loved, and the night I started becoming the person I was meant to be. Chapter 2. The First Morning. Without her. The next morning I woke up on my friend's old couch with a heavy chest and an empty mind, and for a few seconds I didn't remember anything. But then the memory hit me like a wave, and I felt the pain come back all at once, and I knew that my life would never be the same again. I sat up slowly and looked around the room, and everything felt quiet and strange, and I could hear the sound of a clock ticking on the wall, and it felt louder than usual because my heart was beating slowly and my thoughts were cold and tired. I stood up and went to the kitchen to make some tea, and I moved like a robot because I had no energy and I was not sure what to do or where to go. But I knew one thing for sure: I couldn't go back to her, and I couldn't go back to who I was yesterday. I found an old notebook in my backpack, and I opened it, and on the first page I wrote one sentence, and it said, "This pain will become my power." And I read it out loud like a promise to myself, and it didn't fix anything, but it gave me something to hold on to. I spent the whole day walking around the city without any destination, just walking and thinking and breathing and remembering all the things I used to ignore, like how I stopped growing and how I stopped challenging myself, and how I gave too much without asking if I was getting anything real in return. I sat by the river in the evening and watched the water move, and it felt like time was trying to clean my mind, and in that moment I understood something important. I was alone now, yes, but I was also free. Free to rebuild, free to begin again, free to find out who I really was without her. That night before sleeping, I opened the notebook again, and I looked at the words I had written, and I said them again. Slowly, this pain will become my power. And for the first time that day, I believed it a little more than before. Chapter 3. The promise I made to myself. On the third day after everything happened, I woke up with pain still inside me, but it felt different this time. It was still heavy, but it was not crushing me anymore. It was like a quiet fire that burned slowly in the background and reminded me why I had to keep moving. I stood in front of the mirror in the bathroom and looked into my own eyes, and I saw a man who was tired and heartbroken. But I also saw something else, something stronger, something that looked like a beginning. And I knew this was not going to be easy. But I made a decision in that moment. I promised myself that I would not waste this pain. I would not sit and cry forever. I would use every part of this feeling to build a better version of myself, a version that didn't depend on anyone to feel whole, a version that stood tall, even after being broken. That day I went to a nearby gym and I paid for a 3-month membership. With the little money I had, and the guy at the front desk said, "Welcome, man. Let's get to work." And I smiled for the first time in days because it felt like a step toward something new. I trained for 2 hours that day, and I felt my body scream and my muscles shake, but I didn't stop because every drop of sweat felt like poison leaving my system, and every push made me feel more alive, more in control, more ready for what was coming. In the evening, I wrote in my notebook again, and this time I filled 2 pages with thoughts, goals, and emotions. I wrote things like, I will grow, I will learn, I will become stronger than ever. And as I read those words back to myself, I started to believe in them more and more. Before going to bed, I looked at the ceiling and whispered one last thing. I said, I don't know what the future holds, but I know who I'm becoming, and that's enough for now. And that was the moment when I stopped asking why she did it and started asking who I could become without her. Chapter 4. Becoming Someone. Knew after 2 weeks of training every day and writing in my notebook every night, I started to feel different, not just in my body but also in my mind. And it was strange because the pain was still there. But it didn't control me anymore. It just walked beside me like a quiet shadow that reminded me why I started. I woke up early each morning before the sun came up, and I went for a run through the empty streets. And as I ran, I didn't listen to sad songs anymore. I listened to podcasts about mindset, discipline, and growth, and I didn't understand every word, but I tried and I repeated the parts I liked until they became part of me. After running, I went to the gym and trained hard, and I didn't talk to anyone much, but the people there started to notice me. They would nod or smile, and it felt like I was slowly becoming part of something even without saying a word at home. I cooked simple, healthy meals, and I stopped eating junk food. And I stopped scrolling social media looking at her pictures. I deleted everything that brought pain, and instead, I filled my time with books, videos, and long walks where I could just think and breathe. One evening, I went into a local bookstore and bought a book about mental strength, and the man at the counter said, "Good choice." This one helped me too, and I smiled because maybe I wasn't the only one rebuilding. Maybe everyone is healing from something. I remember looking in the mirror that night, and for the first time in years, I saw a man I respected. Not because I was perfect, but because I was trying, because I was showing up every day and doing the hard work. And even when I wanted to give up, I didn't. That's when I wrote a new line in my notebook, and it said, "I'm not trying to prove her wrong. I'm trying to prove myself right." And that line stayed with me every single day, because I knew now this wasn't just about moving on from her. This was about becoming someone I could believe in again. Chapter 5. A Stranger with a Familiar Smile. One rainy afternoon, I went to a small coffee shop near the park just to sit and read and stay warm, and the place was quiet with soft music and the smell of cinnamon and coffee in the air, and I felt peaceful as I sat in the corner with my book and my thoughts. A few minutes later, someone asked if they could sit at the table next to mine, and I looked up and saw a girl with kind eyes and wet hair and a gentle voice. And I said, "Sure, of course, and she smiled and thanked me, and something about her presence felt soft and familiar, like comfort. We didn't talk at first. We both just sat with our drinks, and the rain tapped gently against the windows. But then she noticed the book I was reading and said, "I love that one." And just like that, we started to talk, and the conversation was easy and real. Her name was Emma, and she lived nearby, and she liked quiet places, books, rainy days, and long walks. And as we talked more, I realized how different this moment felt, because I wasn't trying to impress her or hide who I was just me, and that was enough. After about an hour, she said, "I hope we see each other again." And I said, "Me too." And when she left, I didn't feel nervous or confused. Felt calm because for the first time, I met someone not because I needed to fill a space, but because I had space to share. That evening, I walked home in the rain without an umbrella, and I smiled, not because I was in love, but because I was proud of who I had become, someone who didn't rush, someone who listened, someone who could be present without fear. I wrote in my notebook again, and this time, I didn't write about pain. I wrote about growth, about peace, and about how sometimes healing brings new people into your life, not to fix you, but to walk beside the new version of you. And as I went to sleep that night, I felt something warm inside me. Not passion, not excitement, just something better, something steady, something true. Chapter 6. Who I Am. Now 3 months have passed since the night I walked out of that apartment with a broken heart and an empty future, and today, when I wake up and look in the mirror, I don't see the same man anymore. I see someone who fought hard to become stronger, even when it hurt. My mornings now start with peace. I wake up early, stretch, drink water, and take a walk before the world gets loud. I listen to nature, I breathe deeply, and I remind myself that life doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful. I still train, I still write, and I still learn new things every day. Not because I want to escape the past, but because I love who I'm becoming. And every step forward feels like another piece of the puzzle falling into place. No longer check her profile. I no longer wonder what if or why. I no longer feel like a victim because I am not broken anymore. I am healed, not fully, but enough to move forward with strength and purpose. Sometimes I think about the pain, and instead of feeling sad, I feel grateful, because that pain woke me up. It pushed me to grow. It forced me to face the parts of myself I used to hide, and now I walk with a different kind of confidence. Not loud, not aggressive, just quiet and deep, like the ocean. Last week, I saw Emma again, and we talked for a long time. We laughed, we walked, we shared stories, and in her eyes, I didn't see a future I needed. I saw a future I could choose, and that felt powerful, because love now is not about saving me. It's about sharing peace. And that night, as I sat on my balcony with a cup of tea and looked up at the stars, I realized this journey wasn't about getting revenge or proving anything to anyone. It was about learning who I am when I have nothing and choosing to become someone better anyway. I'm not the same man I was, and I never want to be again, because what I built through pain has more value than anything I ever had before. Epilogue. My next chapter starts now. It's a quiet Sunday morning, and I'm sitting by the window with my notebook and a cup of coffee, and the city is waking up slowly outside while I write these final words. 3 months ago, I thought my life was ending. But now I understand it was only beginning. Because that heartbreak, that felt like death was really a door, and when I stepped through it, I found something stronger than love, and more powerful than revenge. I found self-respect. I found peace. I found me. I no longer wake up thinking about her. I wake up thinking about life, about the man I'm becoming, about the people I can help, and the dreams I can build. This is not a perfect story, but it is a real one. And if you're listening to this right now, I want you to know that you are stronger than you feel, and you are not alone in your pain. Use it, don't waste it. Turn your pain into power like I did, and don't wait for someone to save you, because you have everything you need already inside of you. Close that chapter if it hurts and start a new one with your name on the cover and your truth on every page. My name is Alex, and she cheated on me, but it's the best thing that ever happened to me, because that's how I changed everything.